back to episode 64, guys, of my F1 2016 Toro Rosso career mode. Guys, here today for my favourite circuit on the Formula 1 calendar, here for the Belgian Grand Prix. As you can see currently in the standings, we have just got a race wins advantage over Daniel Ricciardo and Nico Rosberg, and it's looking very, very close still at the top of the championship, guys. Obviously, although I've got a race wins advantage, obviously everything can go wrong incredibly quickly in this career mode, guys, and so far it has proven to be just like that, guys. But just a quick thing I'd like to say before we get into this race, and I would like to just quickly say that this race will be the final one using my old Elgato HD30. That's right, I've recorded Italy in beautiful 1080p 60 FPS, guys, so hopefully, we're all pumped and ready for that. Hopefully, that video, I'm aiming to try and get out for Thursday, guys. I'm going to try and get back to maybe 2 or 3 career mode episodes a week until we get to the end of this season, guys. But Chris, to start the weekend, obviously giving me the positive news that the car performance obviously is still looking very, very strong in comparison to all our rival teams at the moment. We've just been able to pile on so many upgrades recently, obviously, with so many very, very consistent results in this career mode so far. As you can see, Red Bull, though, have actually applied an upgrade going on into this race, so they are very, very close to us once again, though. But I feel this Toro Rosso is incredibly well-rounded. It's so strong down the straights now as well, which I think really helps, because obviously the downforce on this car originally was very, very good. So, I was basically just trying to work on trying to make the car as well-rounded as I possibly could there. And as you can see, Red Bull have brought 2 upgrades to this race, and I think that's Renault have brought 1 upgrade as well, guys. But obviously we can upgrade the fuel at this Grand Prix if we wanted to, but I don't think we'll go with that for now. That's obviously a very cheap upgrade, and really, fuel management I'd like to think I'm quite good at on this game anyway, so I'm not going to really worry about that too much, guys. Moving on, though, into free practice, obviously to kick off this Belgian Grand Prix weekend. And like every weekend in this career mode, guys, we'll obviously start with the track acclimatization lap. As you can see, we got a purple score basically all the way around, bar 2 greens and 1 red, guys. As you can see, coming to the end of the lap, though, we just about scrape the purple score there overall, get the 50 R&D points, so we can easily smash the qualifying objective as well, which once again gives us another 50 points there. So, it's looking quite easy at the moment to get all these bonus R&D points. I really want to try and max out this car, ideally before the end of the season, but, I highly doubt we'll be able to do that unless we get a lot of R&D bonuses. There you can see, though, we're over 840 points now in this career mode, guys. And let's move on then into qualifying here. As you can see, in Q1, we did take pole position there. It was very much a mess session there. We took pole by over a second, if you will, in Q1, and there were no real big surprises there if we look all the way down the grid. Felipe Massa, they're just barely missing out on the Q2 there, but Max Verstappen down in P16 on a set of the soft tyres. They're not really too sure why he gambled that in Q1, but moving on then into Q2 here, as you can see, coming towards the end of the session, though, it is a damp Q2 session, the intermediate conditions here, which usually seems to favour myself and also this car, obviously, like I said, with the amount of downforce that this thing does run just naturally. It's a very grippy car, and obviously, especially when I've made it nice and strong down the straights as well. And we go across the line to go just over 2 minutes there, so fairly happy with that lap. It should have been quite a strong lap there, especially in these conditions. I do seem to be able to thrive very, very well in this career mode, guys. You can see there by the end of the session that I did take pole position once again by just over Max Verstappen there in his Red Bull car. So you can see the Red Bull upgrades have definitely started to pay off here, and no really big surprises there once again. You can see, I think Nico Rosberg there being the only big surprise, but obviously he's had very, very poor qualifying sessions in recent weeks, so you wonder how much he does really struggle for Q2 pace there, guys. We're going then into Q3 here, and you can see it's dry conditions once again. Moving on to my final lap of the session here. My teammate Danny Kvyat is currently on pole, but we run a bit deep into the final chicane now. That will cost us a little bit of time, guys. We're coming out the final corner, though. We use as much curb as we possibly can down towards the line, and we just about go pole position there over my teammate Danny Kvyat there. Very, very happy with that lap. And in the end of the session, guys, that was good enough for pole position for the Belgian Grand Prix there. Toro Rosso taking our first front row lockout of the season, guys, with Red Bull's Daniel Ricciardo and Sergio Perez up in P3 and P4 there. So very, very solid qualifying for myself, guys. But let's move on then into the Belgian Grand Prix. So here we are then, guys, here for the Belgian Grand Prix. This is the one race on the whole calendar that I always want to win, whether it be career mode or even league racing, guys. I always aim to do as well as I possibly can at the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps. Obviously, my favourite circuit on the whole F1 grid. You know, it's such a crazy track. You know, just everything about it is just so wonderful. And it's also a track that I'm actually very well suited to on F1 2016 as well. It suits my driving style, which obviously is very, very helpful when it comes to trying to be quick on this game, guys. But obviously a 19-corner circuit here for today's Grand Prix, obviously with the 2 DRS straights. And let's just have a rundown of the full grid once again, guys. Obviously after qualifying yesterday, we didn't see too many big surprises there, but we saw myself and my teammate Danny Kvyat lock out the front row ahead of Daniel Ricciardo and Sergio Perez are in a very, very strong 4th place there. Max Verstappen 5th, with Kimi Räikkönen up in 6th place there. Sebastian Vettel 7th, with Lewis Hamilton just 1,000th behind him, with the McLarens filling out the Q3 results there. Grosjean, Rosberg, Gutierrez, Hulkenberg, Nasser and Bottas did make it into Q2. And Felipe Massa, Rio Haryanto, Marcus Ericsson, Kevin Magnussen, Jolyon Palmer and Pascal Wehrlein unfortunately were at the very bottom of the grid there, guys. You know, I'm looking forward to this Belgian Grand Prix today, and unfortunately, guys, before we just get into the race, the first bit of the recording did unfortunately corrupt quite a bit, so I will have to apologise for how jumpy and laggy a mess this really is. Unfortunately, I did want to leave it in though, just so you guys knew sort of really what happened, but you know, I'm not even going to try to commentate this. You can see, very, very lucky that I did buy a new Elgato there. We've already lost, we're down to P2 behind Daniel Ricciardo, and we've got Perez and my teammate Danny Kvyat there fighting right behind me here, but coming up the top of Eau Rouge, you can see it's probably going to lag forward once again very, very shortly. We go round the outside of Ricciardo there, probably, and Perez has also managed to follow me through there, so very, very happy with that. But into the next corner there at the end of the Kemmel Straight here, we just run a little bit wide. Perez manages to get past me there. Now Perez is leading this Belgian Grand Prix there, but he's on a set of super soft tyres, so he won't be able to go very far in this Grand Prix, and he's basically locking himself in for a 2-stop Grand Prix there. We lag a bit more. No idea what that really is. Obviously very, very happy that I've got a new capture card now. So hopefully, you know, we shouldn't be seeing any more of that, guys. But now moving on to lap 5 here, and we're right behind Sergio Perez in this Grand Prix here. Obviously coming towards the end of lap 5 here. His tyres will probably be starting to fade at this point. You know, 6-7 laps is really all you can get from those tyres. But we make a little bit of contact with Perez there, and we've been taken out by Sergio Perez. He was just trying to squeeze me as much as he possibly could there. We dropped 2 positions there. We dropped down behind my teammate there of Danny Kvyat, and down into P5 we go there, as we just get a little bit more of, unfortunately, you know, just a bit of the file breaking up there. But I think that is the last bit of file corruption we do see in this whole race there. But no idea what Perez was doing there. He just completely squeezed me, and I tried to correct a little bit at the back end as I tried to avoid him there. And unfortunately, we were span around there. But unfortunately for me, though, we didn't get any damage from that instant, so that shouldn't cost me too much time. You see, by the end of lap 7 there, Sergio Perez had actually then made his pit stop at the end of lap 6, I think it was. So we were now right behind my teammate Danny Kvyat here. You can just see how much straight line speed we have as we come down towards the bus stop chicane here, up the inside, back up into P3 there. So, you know, very, very happy with that. And, you know, we've jumped back past my teammate there. So, you know, just further improving that I am the #1 driver in this team. Obviously, we did actually lose a couple of places there last time, like at the 10 points in the driver rivalry, obviously, after getting such poor qualifying last time at the German Grand Prix, guys. We can see now, skipping on to the start of lap 9 here, we're now a couple of seconds back from Daniel Ricciardo here, guys. But, you know, as I was saying in free practice thing, the straight line speed on this Toro Rosso, when I wanted to be quick in a straight line, I think this clip can really just speak for itself. If we activate the DRS, 220 miles an hour, they're already behind Ricciardo, 225, nearly 230 miles an hour, we just rode straight past him there. There's nothing Ricciardo can do against that sort of straight line speed. And up to P2 we go in this Belgian Grand Prix there. But next up on my hit list is Lewis Hamilton here. As you can see on the end of lap 10 though, he actually dives it into the pit lane there for his one and only stop of this Grand Prix here. So we've really got to now try and push to try and make sure that we don't get undercut by him and Daniel Ricciardo here. You know, I'd like to try and get out of the pit lane in the lead of this Grand Prix here. As you can see, he goes on to a set of hard tyres. No, sorry, it is the medium tyres, so if I can actually guess the right tyre compound on this game, guys. But, you know, we've got to try and push for these next couple of laps until it's our chance to come into the pit lane, guys. And on the end of lap 12, you know, I decided that this lap would probably be the ideal one. You know, we don't want to let the AI undercut me too much here. And I was also a little bit worried about Sergio Perez, what he was going to be able to do, because obviously I didn't want to grain these tyres too much and then have to try and squabble with Perez here, guys. But we throw it into the pit lane now, make a little bit of contact with the wall. But we get the car slowed down as we come up into the pit lane there. It's always quite a steep hill that you never really think about until obviously you have to use the pit lane around this circuit. Hoping, you know, that we can stay ahead of Lewis Hamilton in this Grand Prix. We obviously don't need to worry about Sergio Perez as he's on a very different tyre strategy to myself. But Perez jumps me, Lewis Hamilton jumps me as well, and Daniel Ricciardo, I can hear him coming down the pit lane as well. He goes past me there, but obviously with that shortened route out of the pit lane here, we should be alongside him as we come at the pit lane here. It's looking like we could see a drag race down towards Eau Rouge there, but Ricciardo has backed out just behind me there. And obviously with the straight line speed of this Toro Rosso, it's going to be very, very hard for him to try and get back past me. As you can see, coming to the top of the hill though, he will have the DRS now, but just have a look at how little straight line speed that Red Bull has without DRS, without slipstream. We are simply able to just pull away from Daniel Ricciardo down that long back straight there, down the Kemmel straight. And we do hold on to P3 in the Grand Prix. Really, it's sort of net P2 in this race once we get past Sergio Perez. Once he has made his final pit stop of the day, guys. Now, as you can see, on lap 14, we are now back up into P2 of the Grand Prix, and we're now right behind Lewis Hamilton here, obviously on that set of medium tyres. He will be slower than myself, obviously with those tyres also being older than my set as well. But we got the rich mix in the car at the moment. We're really trying to just push to try and catch Lewis Hamilton here. We've gone purple in the middle sector there, so hopefully know that we can try get past Hamilton, maybe down into the bus stop chicane here. We're gaining on him absolutely massively as we put one wheel on the grass there, around the outside into Blanchimont there, and we managed to make the position stick there. We did get pushed a little bit wide there, but Hamilton tries to look at around my outside, but we managed to make, if I do say so myself, an absolutely incredible move around the outside through Blanchimont there at well over 200 miles an hour. We go purple at the end of that lap there as well, guys, and that was basically the final piece of action we did see in this Grand Prix there. We were able to pull away a little bit of a gap to Lewis Hamilton behind me, guys. You can see he's about 4 seconds behind me. But there's yellow flags out in Sector 2, and Max Verstappen on the final lap of the Grand Prix has unfortunately retired there. I'm not too sure whether there had an incident with another car. I'll have to go back and have a look, but poor old Max Verstappen there, you know, he's had a fairly good championship up to this point. And having a look from the cinematic camera there, the engine gives way on the final lap. So Red Bull there, an absolutely catastrophic result there. We were going to lose out on, I think, sort of a good 10-12 points there, I think, in this Grand Prix there. It might have been a couple less than that. But still, as you can see, we're down to 21 runners then. But coming down towards Blanchimont on the final lap of this Grand Prix, I doubt, you know, we're going to see any problems now unless that car just ahead of me does something really bizarre. Or, you know, maybe I could crash. You never know what might happen in this career mode, guys. But coming into the final corner then of the Belgian Grand Prix, we're going to be able to take home a very well-earned race win at my favourite circuit. But there we are then, guys, the end to another race in this Toro Rosso career mode, guys. And I can't actually believe, you know, so far I've had a very, very solid season. This is only my third race win of the season. Obviously, we won Monaco, we won Britain, and now we've won Belgium. So I think 3 of the tracks that hold the most, you know, historic significance overall in this career mode, guys. But obviously we won ahead of Lewis Hamilton there. Had a very, very good race, coming from all the way down from 8th place on the grid all the way up to 2nd in the end there. Daniel Ricciardo managed to hold on to P3, as well as Sergio Perez holding on to P4 there. My teammate Danny Kvyat just didn't seem to have the race pace that probably was desired by my team, and the strategy obviously that we both ran on there. But Max Verstappen, as we said, guys, the only driver to DNF there. And look at Sebastian Vettel down in P12. Obviously he did not have a good day out either for him, both Ferraris even. I've just noticed Kimi Raikkonen down in P16 as well. So Ferrari having a torrid day out there, being able to take home no points either driver, obviously all the constructors standings there, which will massively cost them overall. As I think Toro Rosso, we able to take home, I think, 35 points there in that Grand Prix. So that should really try and shake it up, obviously, at the top. That is one of my big aims this season, is to win the constructors standings, guys. So obviously I really need to try and drag Danny Kvyat up to the good position there, and also really need to try and make the car even quicker. So, we can try to win this Constructors' Championship as well. But, I want to take home both championships this season, guys. But hopefully, let's have a look at the drivers' standings overall this season. And as you can see, guys, obviously, we further extend my lead at the top of the championship. Now, a 37-point gap to Daniel Ricciardo behind me there. So, very, very happy with that. Lewis Hamilton jumps back past his teammate of Nico Rosberg there. Although those guys obviously being so consistent in this career mode as well. No real other changes there apart from Sergio Perez jumping his teammate Nico Hülkenberg there, which is only understandable. Obviously, he's quite clearly a better driver there overall in the standings, guys. But obviously, my teammate there, Danny Kvyat, still down in P8 there with not even scoring 100 points as of yet. And having a look at the constructors there, you can see we currently are up into 3rd place there after jumping Ferrari, guys. But hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe if you are new around here, guys. And I will see you next time.